Okay. We're live in right now. But 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, we are live. Thanks for joining in to Eat the Elephant, Day 5, Part 2. Um, do we want to throw this on Discord again? We should just do it every time we go live. We should just throw it on Discord. We should honestly throw it on everything. Is it the same link? No. That's Yeah, on the iOS. This was yesterday, and that's everything that's been posted on iOS. So I think if we're just consistent, okay. Oh, nice. Should I, if you want, you could put that in the chat. I'm just going to close the chat. Okay. Yeah, it failed uploading yesterday. I tried just re-uploading. Oh, it looks like it failed again. So, oh, really? Yeah, I don't know what's up with this error I'm seeing. Oh, really? I wonder if my laptop can't keep up. Classic. I'm waiting for those M5s to come out. I heard they're going to redesign the laptop, so I'm going to upgrade. That's my plan. Anyways, yeah, our Xcode cloud isn't working. I need to figure that out, why it's not working. But at least for now, let's just build out the screen and see what's possible, right? And it's this one in particular. And I guess you're saying we want to do where this opens up our app. That's the main goal for today. Oh, on here? Wait, I don't have Discord up. Go to Discord? Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. I think I was. Wait, are you watching the stream now? What does it look good? Okay, cool, cool. Anyways, okay. Yeah, so yesterday we built out these two targets, the Eat the Elephant shield configuration, which I guess is what allows us, this is the view that appears to the user when they try to open up another app. And then the shield action, I guess, is what gets called when you hit one of the buttons of the configuration. So I think first step is let's try to get the configuration screen to look kind of like this. So first thing, I'm gonna try to download this emoji as an image because, yeah, I think we do need it. So, okay, it's all good. If we blow it up, it's a little pixelated. Can we get a higher resolution elephant emoji? Um, and then honestly, what do you think about having that as the app icon? Yeah. I mean, I do dig this. And if, yeah, I'm up in the air, either one. But I also do really like emojis. But anyways, okay, I'm gonna try to import. Okay, looks better. Thanks. So I'm gonna bring in this elephant emoji. And in this, I'm gonna try to use that. And this is a class that they've created, and it looks like it's allowing us to like pass this view for when an application is opened, or an application because of the category, or web domain, or a web domain because the category is open. I think we won't really customize any of these. So instead of like copying and pasting the same thing in all of these, I'm just going to create like a class like var configuration, make it a shield configuration, and have it equal to this thing. And then everywhere we want to return something, we'll just return like the configuration. So that way we can just mess with it once and it will work the same on all of these. And then maybe if we wanted to, we could change it to do something else. But anyways, that should hopefully work. Background color, I think, do we just want it straight black? Is that what the Figma has? Okay. Background blur style, like let's try to we'll figure that out. I don't know if there are a lot of these different blur styles. But I guess, do you have blur on yours? Or this is just straight black, right? Yeah, I think so. Like in this article, um, like you could see on this screen, I think it's blurring the app that it's trying to open. So I'm down to just have it straight black with no blur, because then it's really like you shouldn't be focusing on the app you're trying to open. Instead, it should be this app, right? Okay. And then the title is going to be, let's just hard code with this info. Okay. Is that what we're calling it? Elephant? Okay. And then this one's going to be like, I guess, secondary label color. I think that's what Apple calls like the gray. And this one can be like primary, or that, that's a great question. So it's asking for a shield configuration.label, which, let's see what's configurable with this. It looks like we can only change the text, which is the string, and the color. Doesn't look like it. Do you see anything like other apps changing stuff? Okay. This is start task. The color of black. Primary button background. Yeah. Okay. This might have been why I think I lost my scheme. Okay. I have to run this on my device. I think I can open up here. Yeah, so here I'll show you. Um, I know I could do this and change this to be iPhone 15. Okay, so this is my iPhone that I have hooked up. Anyways, yeah, you're asking what does the buttons do? So I think we set up just the view of the buttons here, but the buttons, whenever they execute, will call our shield target and give it and like pass in this action. And we can run code here based on if it's the primary button pressed or the secondary button pressed. Oh, really? Okay. So this is what this configuration looks like on iOS 26. So I'm not sure why the background color isn't black. Maybe now I'm in dark mode, and maybe it's that. Like if we are in dark mode, it shows this. Yeah, true. And maybe, let me see. These are my assets. Oh no, that's the image itself. Let me make sure it's like this. What's this? Oh yeah, it does say resultant empty symbol. Try renaming the asset. So let's rename it to be like elephant emoji. Elephant emoji. We'll use that instead. I'm pretty sure named is the right one. Named in bundle. Yeah. And maybe this article has more info. Because I know in the article they talked about it. So he created the extension, did the configurations. This is the default with that. Uh, so yeah, he does have the squared icon, small, no background, which allows him to have this thing. I created a new asset catalog that is assigned to both my main app target and my shield config target. Okay, so that might be the issue. Let me make like a new asset catalog. Have it belong to both of them. I'll call it shared assets. And I'll put this image cut it, paste it in here, rerun. Okay, nice. So yeah, I don't know. I'd like to have it where it defaults to, yeah, yeah. So that might be the case. Maybe we just run with it. Let's just get this working. Anyway, so now what we need to do is figure out what happens when these two, the start task and the ignore, right? Right now, when you hit primary button, it says it closes. So when I hit start task on my phone, it just closes the app. And then when I hit defer, so let me try to hit the ignore, it just closes the app as well. And this is for application token. Again, like, yeah, it's running for any, like, it splits it out. Let's make our own function that gets called for all these, like handle, action. So yeah, the completion handler, what that means is it's giving you a function that it's saying, hey, I need you to call this when you're done. And normally that means that it's set up because it's like letting you do things that take a long time, either like a network call or something. So the completion handler, we just call it when we're completely done. And then it requires that we pass it a shield action response, which this shield action response is either none, close, or defer. And those are the only options. So I don't know exactly what they are. Oh yeah. So none tells the system it doesn't need to take any additional action on behalf of the extension. No additional. So that might be like, oh, we're going to open up our app and then we'll tell you don't worry about it. Hopefully. Instruction for the system to close the current app or web browser. So that's nice. Or defer to defer a response to the action. Use defer to delay an immediate response to shield action. For example, if your extension on a client device sends a remote request to a parent or guardian's device, when you specify this option, the shield redraws its UI, which gives your extension on the client device an opportunity to reconfigure the shield's appearance. So this is where I'm like, oh really? I'm wondering if we could do something like this, where we, if they want to continue, like say like you're like, oh, ignore. Maybe when they press ignore, we run code that like tells the system like, hey, for this app they're trying to open, because we do see the application token. Maybe we could tell our app like, hey, allow them to open up this app now. And then defer it and have it retry and then it should allow them to open up the app. That's cool. Yeah, because I think the thing is application token restricts filtered device applications without access to personal user data. I think the idea is that we don't know what application they're trying to open because it's like some random token. So that's probably why they're trying to do it. Um, so yeah, let's think like what we should be able to run like any code in here. I'm just wondering why is it. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by new iOS? Oh, the dynamic island. Yeah. Well, that's. Are you talking like this timer? Like, oh, format clock. Like you're saying, you want it to suddenly start a timer at the top like that. We could try to figure that out. What do you mean by iOS 26? Because I think this thing exists. Oh, did they really? Yeah, let me go check. Let's go. Let's say Swift start device. Yeah, the issue I'm like, there is a timer class like in Swift, but it doesn't start like an actual timer. Where did you find that they? Oh, alarm kit? Yeah, yeah, that's fire. That yeah, that'd be big, dude. Should we try to have it open our app? Like, should that be? Yeah, let's. Um, so yeah, what I'm doing is you can create these URL types. So normally, like for example, when you go to a website, you type in HTTPS colon slash slash. That HTTPS is a scheme. It's hypertext transfer protocol secure or whatever. That's a scheme that just tells it like, hey, we're using the browser. You should like do whatever. Anyways, you can actually create your own scheme. So I'm creating this scheme, com.onsideLLC.etelephant, and I'm setting it to be like I'm just identifying it as my local URL scheme. And and the idea is that whenever you click on a link that starts with that and then it has like colon slash slash whatever, um, when you click on that link, your phone will look through like a list of any of these schemes it has, and it'll be like, oh, this belongs to this app. So it should open up our app. So if I rerun this on my device, and then I then go into like I've always found it's easiest to do it in Calendar. You go in and you add a URL in here, and you do colon slash slash. test.com or whatever. And then you can go and hit this URL and it opens up our app. So now the hope is we can go into the Shield Action extension. And one of the first things it does is we allow it to open up the link //test.com. And then maybe we just say like, okay, we're gonna just tell the system not to handle anything else. But hopefully we can do this. Let me just put this into chat. Hopefully this works. I'm worried. No. And maybe let's try. Let's see what Stack Overflow says. Oh yeah, so this is what you're saying, local notification. Yeah. Because yeah, I don't know if it's like possible without that. Yeah, and they have to set that up, right? Like they have to create the shortcut. Because I want this to work where it's just like the user doesn't know what they're doing at all, like how it works. Defer every second and have a timer, like on that screen. So like, so you're saying like right here, it would show one. It would show one time. I guess like, don't we have to? So defer only runs when you hit the button. Are you saying that? Was somebody saying that you could set like a 1 second timer for this screen? Yeah, let's see what this guy said again. Threshold of 0 seconds for a managed settings shield. Then, right when the application is open, the threshold is reached. The delegate method of a device activity monitor extension will be called. In that delegate method, you can create and immediate deliver a local notification. So I think we're already kind of doing this. So like when I hit apply shielding, this is where I like set where yeah, I think what they're saying is in order for like the shield to pop up at all, not here. I think when we hit start task, that's where it should send a notification. Okay. So I guess, should we look into this timer API and see, instead of the, okay. Let's try that. So if I run defer, so you're saying like they'd have to hit the button every second. No, it only, we're told when they press this button. Yeah. Um, I think it runs a loop, but you can only complete out of it once. Yeah, it like returns pretty much. Like that's pretty much the return. Like I wonder honestly if they have this handle like in a, this is like the old way of doing async await. I don't know if you've looked in the async await. Anyways, yeah, it's, we could only run code one time in here before returning. And then we have to wait for them to hit start again. What I'm wondering is if they hit start, like, can we tell our app to um, start a timer? Like, we can't, it looks like we can't open the app, cause, but can we, like, send a network request to our app? Kind of like how they're saying, like, oh, as soon as you hit the button in this delegate method, so in this delegate method is what they're talking about, you can create and immediately deliver a local notification. And then the user has to click on that notification. I'm wondering instead, like, can we programmatically start a timer? Because there is like this iOS live activities API. Yeah, so it's kind of like a notification. We can have it act just like a notification, where like when you start the timer, it drops down and it shows. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have a newer phone, it would show up here as the timer. So the question is, can we start one of these programmatically, like from outside of the app? Yeah. So let's see. It's kind of, well, it's not really within our app because this is a separate target. What do you mean by shared stuff? Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm wondering, like, yeah, can we start? Yeah. So you add it to your widget extension. So it like exists in an extension. I just don't know. Configure. Start live activity. You start when it's in the foreground. So that's what I'm really worried about. Pass this. Ah, see, look, you can only start a live activity while your app is in the foreground. So that might not work. No, our our target is like just this thing is in the foreground, but like our actual app is not. And I mean, like I could try to let's try to like bring in import live activities, or I think it's activity. What's it called? It's not activity kit. Oh, really? Okay, it's activity kit. Let me just try to run. Yeah, or try to get you to open their app, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty fun. I mean, like this article is them saying you can only open up your apps if you've hit enough steps. It's kind of sick. Anyways, we're gonna try it. Yeah. So the goal is when you click on this button, it starts a live activity. Okay. Okay, so I might need to like set up live activities a little bit more. Because yeah, you have to create a widget extension. So I'm gonna call this E2E widgets. Um, I'm gonna include a control and a configuration app intent. Like we could add these later. Yeah, but I'm gonna include the live activity. So yeah, this create another separate target. So this is like an example configuration object for a widget. Like this is an example widget. You can choose your favorite emoji. This is the example widget. Time favorite emoji. This is the bundle. So right now we're just going to take out these two so we can only have the live activity. But we do have this content state. So I'm going to put this into its new folder, like live activities. And the goal is, yeah, so this is the actual live activity. So you can see like this is the view that appears in the lock screen or the banner UI. So this is like what appears up here. Like we can create one view and it looks the same here and here. And that's this thing right here. And then they have all these different views. So if you're in the leading, so if you're dynamic island and you're the only thing going on, then we have this leading, trailing, and bottom. I guess that's like, that's this thing. There's a leading, a trailing, and a bottom view. And then if you're compact leading, it shows here. Compact trailing shows here. So this is like if you, yeah. Yeah, so let me, yeah, I'll get this working. Yeah, I could probably run this. Let's see. So let me get this working. Okay, yeah, here I can even run a preview of it. Just so you can see like the view. And Vision Pros, dude, that's why I'm doing it. Holy crap. That's true. I want that for myself. Jeez, it's taking a while. My laptop's pretty warm. RevenueCat, drop some donuts. Maybe I just try to build it out. Um, so I'm putting this into a separate file because this is like the configuration object, these attributes. So I think the way it works is you create this activity attributes. This is like the model of like what will be in the activity. Anything that's outside this content state struct is fixed, so you can't update it. But then inside this content state, you can update it by pushing like notifications to that live activity. So anyways, I think it takes, you create one of these attributes and you tell the system to start a live activity. I'm pretty sure I did. Let me check. Yeah, it's funded. Yeah, we should just post. Yeah, I posted day 5. So it's in there. But we should post like in more than just the iOS. And we should also post like on LinkedIn. I don't know. Anyways, okay. So what I'm going to try to do is just get a live activity started from the Shield Action extension. Oh yeah, and then yeah, the reason I put this into a separate file is because we need it to belong to this widget extension, but also the Shield Action extension target. So now this should still exist. Oh, actions content pushed. Okay, so it creates this activity. We'll print out some stuff. Um, no. The way it works is like it will just exist until you tell it to stop or the user stops it. So I'm going to call start live activity and then do this thing. Oh, stop this. One thing is it creates all these weird schemes. So let's try running this on here. Okay, so I'm going to turn on all these apps, apply the shielding, hit this, and now if I hit the like either button, if I hit it, it should start this live activity. Which it did not do. Oh, that was me. That's me tapping it. Let me move this into like a file in here. And I could just start it from yeah. It's also tough because we can't like see um, like debug stuff because they're so private intensive. So yeah, I'm gonna have another button here. It's like start. So I'm gonna just try to start it from within our app here. Yeah. Because if this works, then that means it might not work in this extension. But if it doesn't work, that means something's messed up. Error starting live activity, unsupported target. So let's figure out what that means. Oh, yep. I need this. Dude, it's always a P list. That's open. Oh gosh. Okay. Actually, I might not be that right. Let's just do it like this. Yeah, that's like, I think that would have worked. That's like technically what happens whenever you're changing these. It's really just updating like the code of the info.plist, which you can open as source code. So now we should be able to see what. Yeah, did not get saved. Support live activities right there. Now let's try adding it to our shield action. Supports live activities. Okay, let's try running that now. What do you got? Oh, nice. Look at this. What did the thing did? So it did it from within that app. So I'll close that. So now if I hit this, hit start task, it did not start it. So how do I like this one? So I can hit start here and it starts it. I could do this. And that can come, I'll always allow, I'll clear it out for now. And then when I go into any of these apps, I hit start. It doesn't do it. But it does defer. So maybe let's do close just to make sure. And then yeah, I'm gonna try running the shield action. So yeah, you can change these schemes. Okay, nothing's happening. I don't know. See, and that's where I'm like, I don't know the best way to debug these things. Yeah. See, it's not even. If I take this out, does it run? It freezes. Here's another thing I'm worried about is I should make my own handle. And just call handle in all these. So the same code runs no matter what. Because I'm worried that like it's actually running one of these, you know. Yeah. Okay, so now that is closing. So now let's try doing that. Oh, sick. Okay, so it's a breakpoint. So we are able to like debug it. Oh, error starting live activity. Unsupported target. So we did add supports live activities here. Let's try it in this one too, just to make sure. Because I am running the shield configuration. So it could be like, oh, yeah, the live activity lives in the widget extension. Yeah, that's the hope. So let's see, like, and it could be where you at? Yeah. So let's see, like, yeah, that's what I was worried about. And that's where it's like, yeah, we might need to do that notification thing. Yeah. We could have like just dot on open URL perform start live activity. So whenever, let's see if this works. So if you hit the push notification and it opens up our app, we could have it like anytime that push notification was tapped, then it could start the thing. Does that make sense? So the user would still have to tap. You just have to click start and then it'll open our app and it would start the live activity. So Yeah, yeah. So if I hit this button, yeah, yeah, no, I feel you. So yeah, basically, yeah, I think if you tap the notification, it would be like tapping this URL. So if I tap this URL, it opens up our app. Maybe it tells you like, oh, you ready? And then when you swipe home, a timer's going. Um, yeah. Anyways, so do we? I guess this is good. We know more of the limitations now. Should I try to push this to TestFlight? And the hope is this will now actually upload TestFlight. I think my issue. Okay. Yeah, we might just have to get creative. Which, you know, creativity loves constraints, right?
Trevor,
Yeah, should we try that?
you can't see me,
No. Yeah, you're good. And it could be like, you know what, you hit the button and it takes you to your home screen and then sends you a notification that says, would you like to start a timer? Because maybe you don't want to start a timer. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, maybe depending on the task, maybe a timer doesn't make sense. Like maybe we could set it up where the task can open up to your library app instead. And that would make more sense. Like, I don't know. Hmm. I do like the idea of a timer. Yeah. 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 Or maybe it'd just be like, your goal is to get off your phone. You don't need a timer for that. Like, it should just take you home. I guess, I don't know. Our goal, our app wants you to do stuff, not just not do stuff. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, true, true. No, I totally agree. Okay. Um, I was just hoping that I'm just hoping that this builds. It was on this that it failed. Oh, it might have worked. Yeah, let's see. Build 5, it failed at. Export archive for ad hoc. Oh, fetch. No, it failed. Yeah, I might need to look into it more. We might need to do some like special stuff for the shielding thing outside of just the app code. You know, anyways, we'll figure it out later. The code is in GitHub, so if you want to pull it and run it yourself. But anyways, all right, let's stop the stream. Thanks everybody for the live chat. Nobody posted, but whatever.